think that S workers are healers. We are care workers. We are caregivers.
Please go and watch that video in entirety and follow that creator. What she's saying is profound, and I'm going to put it in the context of generational trauma and boundaries. Before I continue, my name is Judy Hu, trauma therapist of 20 years turned boundary coach, helping people alchemize ancestral trauma so that they can live their best lives guilt-free. So how this video landed for me was understanding my own bias around S work, right? And then I kind of sat with it and let it kind of germinate and really impact how I see this. So pulling from Resmaa Menakem, who wrote My Grandmother's Hands, he says, trauma decontextualized in a person looks like personality. So for instance, if my parent was SA'd and impregnated with me, the trauma could be a dislike of me, right? And I would personalize that. This is not what happened, but I'm just using it as an example. Trauma decontextualized in a family looks like family traits. So if that happened, right, the family would be a little like, could be me people-pleasing, walking on eggshells so I don't dysregulate my parent, who every time they see me get reminded of the situation. And so me personalizing that I have a defect is actually from the originating trauma of the SA. Come on, Luna, this way. Luna, come on, Luna. So trauma decontextualized in a group of people looks like culture. So if we were to kind of zoom out and go, where in collective history has there been mass essaying of women and children? Colonization. So I'm going to land it with my cultural orientation. So as a Chinese American, how this might show up epigenetically for me. So epigenetics is the adaptation of DNA expression due to trauma. Is in Nanjing, the Japanese Empire tried to take over and did a lot of pillaging and essaying and comfort womening. You see the term comfort women in places like Korea. This is what happened also by the same empire, where women were forced into SA work and did that. The story I make up because it was to soothe the moral injury of the soldiers for doing what they were doing based on the orders of the emperor. So moral injury from soldiers is a real thing and something that needs to be talked about more that I learned from a colleague. It's basically doing something against your moral, but based on the order of the government that you're serving. It's kind of like when a bully tells you to bully someone else, so he'll lay off of you. So what am I excited about from this video? It makes total sense to me now what SA work is. It's alchemy. I'm not saying that everyone who's in SA work is connected to this lineage. I'm saying, what if we look at it as a potential for alchemy and then make it a conscious decision so that the people who are going in to be served consciously undoing their trauma of having to show up in a particular way against their moral character because they have to survive. And for the worker to consciously come into that contract saying, I am going to do this, but consensually and also being well paid. Do you know how this can be transformative? To be able to go in, right, and undo the trauma of being SA'd by someone who is trained to give pleasure and track your body and no consent, and it's clean boundaries because it's transactional through conscious contracting. Let me know how that lands.